Hi, I'm Cameron. I'm an environmental scientist and botanist working with Alcoa's environmental team. I've been working for Alcoa for about 8 years, but prior to that, I spent about 10 as a contractor looking at rehabilitated land. So we're standing here at the old Jarrah mine site, which you can see around me is comprised of eastern state eucalypts planted in rows. And what the government wanted from rehabilitation was the ability to have easily loggable land. And what you're looking at around me is the best way that they could put these trees back so that it was loggable in the future. The intent at the time was to mitigate the effects of Jarrah dieback on the forest by creating rehabilitation that would be resilient to dieback. They did this by, instead of planting local species, planted species that weren't dieback susceptible, like the eastern state ukes and pine trees. Trees were planted in rows without a lot of understory to allow ease of access for when logging activities occurred. Although this isn't the way that we rehabilitate post-mining land areas today, this land still has a function as a cycling area and as a recreational landscape. So we're standing here in an area where we conducted a research trial in 1976. Even though at the time we were doing a lot of rehabilitation per the government standards on getting loggable timber, we wanted to try something new and different to try and put Jarrah Forest back in post-mining landscapes. And the way we attempted that here was with double strip soil, putting back fresh topsoil, as well as seeding a host of native species and planting species as well that we couldn't get back from seed or topsoil. So what we see here today, almost 50 years on, is a really special example of multi-structured vegetation and an ecosystem function that's really diverse and has an incredible range of flora all around us. And this is what we can expect to find as areas of rehabilitation develop. One of the great advantages of using fresh topsoil is it provides a huge amount of species in the undergrowth. You can see here we've got some beautiful Lasiopedilums. We've got a climbing Thyesnotus fringe lily over there. We have forest ryegrass. You've got these multiple strata. You've got shrubs in the lower level. Then you start to move up into your proteaceous mid-story with your snotty gobbles and your Banksia grandis. And then you've got these really well-developed Jarrah and Marri. There's a lot of growing to do, but at this age, they're doing really, really well. Ultimately, this is what we're here for, and this is what we're trying to do. And this site is informing our current rehab practices to generate rehabilitation going forward that will be really, really successful when it reaches 50 years. We're currently standing in rehabilitation that was completed in around 2009, which makes it 16 years of age. And here you can see that a strong mid-story structure has developed. We have canopy that's broken away and providing good shade to the understory, which is thick with native shrubs. Made possible with the culmination of research and studies completed in rehabilitation from the very beginning. This is an area where the rehabilitation works were completed quite recently. Seeded 3 years ago and then planted 2 years ago, you can see that this is very early in the rehabilitation lifetime. What you can see around me is the early emergence of native Jarrah forest flora. First of all, you can see the Jarrah, which are just breaking free of the shrub layer in this rehabilitation. Behind me on my right, we have unmined forest. And then on my left, we have 2009 rehabilitation. We can expect this rehabilitation to continue to develop into the 2009 rehabilitation, which itself is continuing to develop into a more mature forest.